Development for Men organization, an organization that set itself up to champion men's rights under the guise of arguing that it was interested in looking at questions of violence against men. But on deeper interrogation of the work, you can see the combination of a dialogue around men's rights that is set in opposition to women's rights and men's problems in society as the fundamental basis of the manosphere.
The manosphere is not a Kenyan phenomenon. The flag bearer of online misogyny in the Anglosphere was Andrew Tate. In August 2022, he was shut down across social media as complaints about hate speech soared and charges of rape, human trafficking, and the sexual exploitation of women started racking up. Tate's huge following online gave rise to a new genre of content. Influencers around the world who've emulated his toxic style. In India, there is Dev Tyagi.
क्योंकि अगर मेरी बंदी घर से बाहर निकली और उसने लड़कों से दोस्ती करना शुरू करा तो वो मेरी बंदी नहीं है मैं सीधा कहूंगा घर से निकल.
In Greece, there is Michalis Balou.
Δεν υπάρχουν γυναίκες που απορρίπτουν, υπάρχουν απλά γυναίκες που δεν έχουν αυτό το ποιό.
In Kenya, Eric Amanga, Amerix, tops the list of contributors to the manosphere. We sent him an email request for his response to criticisms that he peddles in misogyny and hate speech against women. He didn't email his response back to us. He posted it on his favorite platform, X. There is a pattern to the factors behind the rise of the manosphere. From New York to Nairobi, there are communities of men who have glorified outdated, traditional, or rather patriarchal systems. Then there's socioeconomic pressures. In Kenya, nearly 80% of the 56 million strong population are aged 35 or younger. The unemployment rate is at 12%. And even though it is women who make up most of the unemployed, men say they feel the social squeeze much more intensely.
There's a lot of economic pressures, so there's an expectation in the community or in the society for men to be the primary breadwinners.
I'm trying to find a job, it's really hard. My wife thinks I'm a loser.
Men are feeling like, this changing gender roles is making it possible for women to increase their economic capacity, so then making them feel inadequate.
Parallel to these kinds of groups, there are men in the Kenyan society who are doing very positive and useful work, underscoring the fact that the discourses that are pursued in the manosphere do nothing for men themselves, rather than viewing the freedoms that women have received over the last 50 or so years as an opportunity to transform our society for the good of everyone. The discourses pursued in the manosphere actually contribute to the violence that we see that is targeted specifically as women.
Gender-based violence, femicide in Kenya, has made global news recently. In September this year, Olympian marathon runner Rebecca Cheptegei was set on fire by her partner during a dispute over land. 2 other Olympic runners have been murdered in years past, stabbed and strangled to death. These are just the headline cases. Investigative news outlet Africa Uncensored has done a deep dive into femicide in Kenya, uncovering statistics, patterns, and systemic failures that have led to violence against women rising in the country. There's no clear link between online influencers and these specific murders, but the manosphere has made justifying violence against women acceptable for a significant segment of Kenyan men.
What we particularly need to start thinking through is which men amongst us has a sober mind to look at the younger men and start talking to them in a different language, because the world has changed, and if we are not careful, you change or perish. So why can't we just pause for a moment and think through what we are actually doing in our quest to develop more harmonious cultures, but also a more formidable future for our children?
Thank you for watching. Hit that like button and leave us a comment to let us know what you thought about anything we covered this week. And don't forget to follow us on social media. The links are in the description, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter for updates from the